So let's turn our attention to what's happening on the federal front now. I'm joined by the former Speaker of the House, Andrew Wallace. He's a regular on this show, and he's got a special guest there up in God's country, up in Mooloolaba, Andrew, today, the Deputy Opposition Leader. Is the campaigning's already underway? Is it ahead of the election?
Well, look, I'm a big believer in the campaign starts the day after the last election, Kieran, but it's great to have Sussan in Mooloolaba in God's country, as you call it, and we're at Walker Seafoods, one of in fact, the largest Australian wild-caught, fresh-caught tuna, and these guys are doing a terrific job. Heidi and Parvo Walker are just producing their product here in sachets, and it's just going out to Woolworths. It's the only company in Australia that's doing it, so it's a great thing. Great local business.
Well, Sussan Ley, that's a good segue too, because obviously our producers, a lot of people have a lot at stake when it comes to the new Trump administration. Your colleague Simon Birmingham says the Prime Minister should go to Mar-a-Lago off the back of this current visit to APEC and the G20. How important is it in your mind that the PM gets face-to-face with Donald Trump ASAP?
It's really important, Kieran, that the President of the United States and the Prime Minister of Australia have a close personal working relationship. And I think that actually is the most important thing that the Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, should be focusing on over the next little while until President-elect Trump becomes President Trump. Now, we worked very successfully in 2018 with President Trump. Our administration worked well with theirs. And it was important because there were tariffs to be negotiated. There was coming up under, obviously, the Democrats, AUKUS. We worked very well with both administrations. And you just can't understate the importance of that.
And it's not a typical White House administration, Donald Trump. As we know, it's unpredictable, and a lot of it is from his own decision-making or gut feel on issues. So those personal relationships are pivotal, aren't they, Sussan Ley?
Of course they are. And I think they matter in the world today, which is increasingly globally interconnected by technology. The personal matters more than ever. But of course, Andrew Wallace has spent a bit of time in both New York and Washington recently, and you might have some reflections, Andrew.
Yeah, look, lots been said, Sussan, about Kevin Rudd and whether he's suitable under the new administration in the US. I can only say what I've seen firsthand, Kieran, and that is that I think he's doing a good job working both sides of the halls in Congress. And I think that Australia needs to give him the benefit of the doubt. He's the ambassador. He's our ambassador to the US, our most important strategic relationship, our partner. And I think we need to give him the benefit of the doubt to continue working in that relationship, continue working with Congress, continue working with President-elect Trump, and when he becomes the president, to continue to do that.
Yes, Scott Morrison had a similar message, Andrew Wallace, and you're also Deputy Chair of the Parliamentary Joint Committee on Intelligence and Security. And I wonder, are you sanguine about the future of our alliance in security terms, in all of those important relationships that we have under the alliance?
Well, Kieran, there is no greater relationship between countries such as the United States and Australia. Australia relies upon the United States in many respects, particularly in relation to defence and our security and our intelligence. So it's an important relationship. It's bigger than any one person in either the Lodge or in the White House. I've got no doubt that those very, very strong ties will continue no matter who's in the Lodge or who's in the White House.
Sussan Ley, you got this anti-incumbent wave of inflation and cost of living. It looks like incumbents are struggling right around the planet at the moment, certainly in the West. Is that your feel of things as you travel the nation, that you might be able to ride that wave to government?
I'll leave the international commentary to others and how international events might reflect in Australia. But one thing we do know, is that cost of living is the number one issue for every single Australian. And as I speak to small businesses like Walker Seafoods, an incredible, dynamic, local business, telling us, frankly and fearlessly, how it really is, when this business is doing nothing wrong, but they are faced with these extraordinary headwinds, you know, mortgage rate increases, 12 interest rate rises, an energy policy and an industrial relations policy that actually are not in the interests of small business at all. You know, it makes me, and I know it makes Andrew, really angry on behalf of the people who should expect much more and much better from this Prime Minister.
Thank you both. Appreciate it joining us from Mooloolaba today.